Hello, I'm comedian Jerry Rocha, and in this video, I'd like to talk about the absurdity of console loyalty. I'd been thinking about this back during the launch of the Xbox Series X, and sometimes I think about it in the evenings, when the lights are low and the mood is just right. Anyway, there I was waiting to get an Xbox Series X, a small group of us outside, socially distanced, with masks on. One guy coughed, we lit that motherfucker on fire, we weren't taking any chances. And this person pulls up in what could only be described as a mystery machine, but for the Xbox. He jumped out wearing an Xbox hoodie and had at least 3 that we could see Xbox-themed tattoos. Initially, I figured he was like Microsoft's most hardcore rep that they send out to hand out swag or some shit, or maybe they were trying a new mascot. You know what might push these consoles? What if we get a guy who looks like half a white supremacist, but instead, he just talks about the Xbox? But no, he was just a dude hopping in line to pick his up. And he should have at least been allowed to get in the front of the line. I mean, talk about dedication. This guy had clearly made some sacrifices, had drawn some lines in the sand that led him to this. How would those Xbox tattoos go in prison, do you think? Like, what if he had gotten them in prison and just insisted, as he was getting a prison tattoo, to just get an Xbox logo and then a Cortana one and maybe a Master Chief on the thigh? Would he have been murdered instantly for laughs, or would he have been the most feared guy in the entire prison? And once he got in line with the rest of us, he wasted no time spitting out Xbox stats, talking about how it was going to be a superior system, talking about all the things it could do, without anyone asking. It was like someone turned on an I love the Xbox switch on this guy's back. And no one had the heart to tell him, dude, what do you think we're here for? We're already getting one. We're good. Ain't shit else coming out today. If the head of Xbox had been there, no question, this guy would have followed him back to his hotel, asked him about 45 questions in the span of 20 seconds in the lobby, and then murdered him. And then ate him. At the very, very least. I was looking at this dude, laughing on the inside, because I didn't want to laugh on the outside. I didn't want to be a prick. I also didn't want to get murdered and eaten. But I just kept thinking, like, he can't be for real. Can he? Who gives this much of a shit about any one system? And boy, did I conveniently forget that I used to be that guy. I was there. I mean, no tattoos because I was 8. But still, I can only imagine the tattoo I would have gotten had I gotten a tattoo at 8. I want a giant snake to be fighting a dragon on top of a volcano. Actually, it's not really any different than what most adults get as tattoos. But anyway, rabid in my console loyalty. I was trapped, but I made it out. This is like a testimonial video of how you can get out as well. And then it's baby steps. Maybe if this helps someone deal with console loyalty, eventually it can deal with people who started believing in all that QAnon bullshit. Or really any conspiracy theory. Okay, David Stern rigged the NBA draft to give the Knicks Patrick Ewing. I'll give you that one. Fine, Avril Lavigne died and was replaced by JonBenet Ramsey. I'll give you that one too. Okay, I made that last one up, but I guarantee you there's already 7 videos trying to prove that really happened now. Anyway, back to the stupidity of console loyalty. Right after I got my first NES, that was it. I was a Nintendo guy. I was in the gang. I'd found my religion. There was no stopping me. The initiation to that gang was easy too. My mother just got me an NES for Christmas, and then when my grades were good, she would get me a new game every now and again. It's not like the initiation to join the Nintendo gang was just a bunch of KB Toy Store employees who beat the shit out of you for 5 minutes, and then were like, all right, bro, you're a Nintendo guy now. Although honestly, that probably wouldn't have been that dangerous. I doubt most people are like, I'm either going to take all this weightlifting and fighting skills to be a bodyguard, or I'm going to work my way up the KB Toy Store ladder. I really thought that stupid Nintendo-only loyalty mattered too. It was a code that I lived by. My cousin had a Sega Master System, and I gotta be honest, I felt weird just looking at it, let alone playing some of the games. And I was like, yeah, you know, Phantasy Star, it's pretty cool, but I got Legend of Zelda. I don't need to be sitting here looking at Phantasy Star and Sega like, me and Mrs. Jones, we got a thing going on. What was odd is I'd never shown this kind of brand loyalty to anything before. I'd loved Transformers, but I had some GoBots too. Granted, the GoBots were all the fodder who would die at the beginning of every playtime, but still, I had them. They served a purpose. Okay, yeah, Megatron fucked up a lot of GoBots, but still. I liked Betty Davis and Joan Crawford. I wasn't like this with video games before either. When I had a ColecoVision, I loved it when I got that "how is this not illegal" adapter that let you play Atari games on the Coleco. And yet just a few years later, there I was, Nintendo guy. And a few years after that, just Super Nintendo. I would openly root for Sega Genesis games to get shitty reviews in video game magazines. Like they were some team that bounced me from the fucking playoffs. When my cousin, who stayed on the Sega train, got Sonic the Hedgehog, I remember he showed it to me, and my only response was, "Oh, yeah, cool." But internally, I was like, this game looks pretty good, but fuck him. I hope Sonic blows out his fucking knee. This lasted all the way through the middle of the GameCube's life cycle. Yeah, I was loyal throughout the Nintendo 64. I should have my own fucking amiibo for sticking with just Nintendo for that long. Ignoring the PlayStation completely. Being dumb enough to be like, nobody needs Metal Gear or Final Fantasy VII. I got a Superman game. I was like the one moron that paid attention to that horrifically shitty Beach Boys song, "Be True to Your School." And who knows what would have happened had that fateful day not occurred when I walked into a GameStop and I saw an issue of Electronic Gaming Monthly and they had a preview of a little game called Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. It was going to be only for the Xbox, and my heart sank. I was like, well, fuck this. I'm done. I don't care. In fact, I started thinking, again, nobody wants to play this shit. There it was. That little voice started coming back. I was even trying to angrily nitpick the plot. Okay, it's 1,000 years before the movies, but they have the exact same technology. I don't know if I buy this. Nitpicking a Star Wars the balls on me to nitpick the plot of a Star Wars video game like I didn't just spend money 7 fucking times to see Attack of the fucking Clones in a theater. But thankfully that bullshit in my head didn't win. After years of this shit, it finally died off. But it was tough. Knights of the Old Republic looked really damn impressive. The prequels had been garbage. I needed a Star Wars fix. I caved. I betrayed a code I'd lived by for almost 20 fucking years. I was at that GameStop buying the Xbox like Ray Liotta's character in Goodfellas when he finally accepted it and just joined the Witness Protection Agency. Just don't sell me any games I'm gonna like better than Metroid. All right, okay, that's it. I went home covered in guilt. I couldn't believe what I'd done. I almost whipped myself like a Christian who gets an erection. Then I hooked up the Xbox, I started the game, and within an hour, I'd forgotten all about this bullshit console loyalty. I was like, holy shit, this game is fucking awesome. This system is fucking awesome. And the original Xbox, I could have even painted gray, and it would have almost been a 2-scale Death Star to all my Star Wars toys. It was that fucking obnoxiously big. And I realized my Nintendo games haven't gone anywhere. The GameCube is still right there. I can just go pick that motherfucker up and still play it. I started to feel really fucking stupid. I was like, I didn't get any cooties for playing this Xbox, did I? Gosh, should I have gotten a Sega Saturn too? Okay, I didn't feel that stupid, but you know, you get the point. Nintendo was still number one in my heart. It's gonna always be number one in my heart. But I found out I could love others. I was like, okay, I get it. This is what being a polygamist is like. You have your favorites, and then you have a few others that you want to hook up with from time to time. All in the same bedroom with all your action figures. Then the stupid thoughts came back though. It didn't go away that easy. I was like, okay, I'll just be a Nintendo Xbox guy. Fuck Sony still. I'm not taking that dive. And of course, not that long after, there I was inside that same GameStop, looking to buy an Xbox game. And I saw a demo for a little thing called God of War for the PlayStation 2. I watched it jaw open. I couldn't believe how awesome it looked. And I remembered my love for Greek mythology. Not even as a kid. I went through a heavy Greek mythology period in my early 20s. Lost a lot of friends and anyway, I was like, shit. And I had some extra cash on me. And they had a used PS2 right there. And a buddy of mine worked at the store that I'd known since high school. So he hooked me up with an extra fucking discount. I had to do it. And then it happened. Within a few short years, I went from being psycho insane on one train to embracing all that console gaming had to offer. And I was happy. But still, fuck using a computer. Suddenly, the end of that stupid movie Crash, when Sandra Bullock tumbles down a flight of steps and is no longer racist and is hugging Mexicans, it finally made sense to me. I'm living proof you can get out of this bullshit console loyalty. So maybe all the people who have handles like Master Chief Fucks Your Mom or Sony Queeflord, maybe you don't have to talk shit. Have your favorites. Fine. If you can only afford one system, dude, I fucking get it. Get the one you love the best, but why do you gotta shit on the others? Who gives a fuck? You come across like a massive fucking chode. I know, cause I was that chode. I think of all the brilliance I missed out on by ignoring Sega, by ignoring Sony for all those years, and maybe that one awesome game that came out for the Atari Jaguar. And to really hammer home how there's no need for any of that bullshit, the tattooed Xbox guy, after he was done spouting off how great the Xbox was going to be and how great the Series X was just going to trounce everything else, he also said, I'm also still getting a PlayStation 5 and like the next Switch, for sure. Thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, and I hope you did, please hit that little like button. Subscribe to my channel. Hit that little bell so you're notified every time a video comes out. Spread the word. All that good shit. And the more you do that, the less I have to break your balls about it. Stay safe, and see you next time.